I win.
Magic.
What's up everyone, it's your Void Boy here, and we're going to be doing a little bit different of a video today. We're going to be doing a magic deck box opening. Haven't looked too much into this deck list. I do like Warhammer. I do play the Chaos Space Marines in Warhammer, so I thought getting this would be pretty cool. I've been playing Magic for a while. I have a lot of Magic cards, more Magic decks. I'll probably do some other videos on my Commander decks, so if you like this video, make sure to give it a like so I know to do more of them. What we'll do is probably just open the box and just go through each card. I'll maybe give what I think of a card when it's up, but let's get into it. I had pre-ordered this off of Amazon, which I got a pretty good price on it. I wasn't sure exactly where else to order it. I was supposed to play with my friend who got the Necron deck, but his hasn't came yet at the time of this recording this video anyway. So after he gets his deck, I will come back and record my thoughts on it. I haven't seen these little tokens before in the Commander decks. Don't know how new these are or what they're for really. I guess they've replaced the oversized Magic card with a piece of cardboard that you used to get. I don't know if these tokens are really for anything. Set those to the side. It comes with some instructions if you don't know how to play. Probably tells you how to play the deck as well. I'm not going to go over those. This life wheel is pretty nifty. Does it go up to 40? Oh yeah, 40's on the back side. Okay, interesting. Looks like it comes with a box for people who don't sleeve their cards. You might be able to sleeve that actually. We'll see. We'll put it in. I have some Dragon Shield perfect fits. We'll put them in while we're opening these and see if they fit in this box afterwards. All right, let's see. I believe all the cards come with Warhammer art on them. I didn't get the premium deck where everything's foil, but I got just the basic one. But let's see. All right, first up is the one on the box, Abaddon the Despoiler. Now, for being brand new, there was some gunk on this card, which is kind of disappointing. During your turn, spells you cast from your hand with mana value X or less have Cascade, where X is the total amount of life your opponents have lost this turn. That's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good, pretty easy to get your opponent to lose life in Blue Black Red. So this could be pretty good. This would be a decent commander. I know both the two foil legendaries that come with this are pretty good commander cards. Blackor, I think that's how you would say that. The Dark Master. This is a demon card. This would be a really good demon tribal deck, which I've debated using this deck to build that. I'm going to play the deck how it comes first, but yeah, I think this would be a really good commander, especially in that color combination. Looks like just a basic Cascade, big card, nothing crazy. Enchanted creature an opponent controls. When enchanted creature dies, return this card to your hand, and you create a 1/3 Plague Bearer. I mean, that's pretty good for 1 mana. Not bad, but I'd probably replace this with something. Bone Crusher of Khorne. This is pretty good. Other creatures you control having trample is really good. So, at the beginning of combat of your turn, another creature you control gains double strike. I see what the flavor is for this in the deck. Not bad. But if you were going for something like the demon route, be a replaceable card. Herald of Slaanesh. Demon spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Other demons you control have haste. This one's really good. This would definitely be something you would throw in like the demon tribal. At least that's what I would be aiming for. Noise Marine, cool card. Cool figure in Warhammer in general. Cascade card looks pretty good as an ender card if you cast a lot of things to deal damage to an opponent, so that's pretty good. Synergizes with the one commander. Seeker Slaanesh looks like forces your opponent to attack. Not bad. Depends on the style of play you have, but not a bad card. The Lost and the Damned. Okay, so it's a 3 mana cost enchantment. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control from anywhere other than your hand, or you cast a spell anywhere other than your hand, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token. Not bad. This card could definitely be used in certain types of decks. I'm not sure, because I haven't seen some of the other cards in this deck yet, where you start casting other stuff from, but this could be really good in certain types of decks. Cascade instant card. Good if you want to do Cascade stuff. I can think of easier ways to deal 4 damage. Assault Suit looks like something that shuts down opponent's creatures. There's probably some other good cards to synergizes with in the deck. I could see this being really good in the right situations. Sol Ring, the staple of every commander deck. So it looks like we have all 3 of the color talismans. If you don't know what these do, they're just 2 mana cost mana rocks that either create a colorless mana or you deal 1 damage to yourself to get a colored mana. Worn Power Stone, another staple of EDH. Enters tap, adds 2 mana. Baron Moor, really good cycle land. Grixis tap land, always good in a Grixis deck. It taps for all 3 of your colors. Temple of the False God, I really like the art for this. This is pretty cool. Another commander staple, it's in like every deck. Some other classic cards, Brainstorm, cool art for this. I can see why people would want the foil version of this. Just a good instant draw spell. Dark Ritual, another classic card. Cool art as well. I like the skulls with the flies coming out of them. That would be a really good foil. Deny Reality looks like a big cost bounce card. Will bounce to their hand card with Cascade, so good with the Cascade commander, I imagine. Commander Sphere, another card you find in a lot of EDH decks because it adds your commander color identity, and you can draw a card with it when you don't really need it anymore. And you can tap it first for the mana and then draw a card. Wayfarer's Bauble, another card you see in a lot of commander decks. This is a really cool art. I would probably keep this in whatever deck I would build just because of the art. Real good way to fix your mana. Command Tower, it's in every EDH deck. I even put it in mono-colored ones. Dismal Backwater, gain 1 life, tap land, pretty good. These are just cards they throw in EDH decks to fill out your dual lands. Evolving Wilds, another mana fixer, just a fetch land. This is a cool art though. Okay, here we got one of the bigger demon cards. A blue one at that. Draw 3 cards is good. Ward is good. High mana cost, but pretty good draw spell for a 6/6 body with Flying Ward. Blight Grenade looks like a spot removal and probably removal for opponent's creatures depending on what you're playing against. Looks like a lot of these creatures could probably survive 3/3. Great Unclean One. I really like this card. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then for each opponent who has less life than you, create a 1/3 black demon creature token with token named Plague Bearer of Nurgle. This is a really good card. Everyone loses 2 life and you create tokens. Really good card. Mandate of Abaddon. Looks like another like semi-board wipe card. You could pick your lowest creature's power and just destroy everything else if your opponent has like less cards than you, so it's not bad. I can see this being useful. Mortarion I feel like isn't as good as some of the other cards in this. It requires you to lose life, which isn't hard to do in these colors, but I just feel like this card could be better, but it does kind of fit flavor wise, so I get it. Nurgle's Conscription, this is a pretty good card. Just take a card from your opponent's graveyard, then exile their graveyard. Depending on what they're playing, that could be really deadly. Plague Drone, 4 mana 3/3 flyer with if your opponent would gain life, they lose life instead. I love effects like this, so this is a good card to me. Plus it's a demon. Poxwalker, 3/1 Death Touch with whenever you cast a spell anywhere from other than your hand, you may return it to the battlefield tapped. This would be pretty good if there's cards like that in the deck. I can think of a couple other decks this would be really good into. Sloppity Bile Piper. Looks like you sacrifice a card and the next creature spell you cast has Cascade. It's a demon, it's pretty low cost for that ability, which seems like it could be really good in either style of deck too. Tallyman of Nurgle, looks like the lifelink's pretty good on this for a 2/3 lifelink for 3, that's not bad. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you draw a card and lose 1 life. That's not bad. If 7 or more creatures died this turn, instead draw 7 cards and lose 7 life. That's kind of just Grizzlebrand with more steps, but this isn't bad. I can see this being really good. Venom Crawler, when another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on Venom Crawler. I have Venom Crawlers in my Chaos Space Marine army, so this is pretty cool. I like this. A Demon Machine. Aspiring Champion, when Aspiring Champion deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card on the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. If that creature is a demon, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. That's pretty good, and it has Menace. I would probably put this in a demon deck too, just because it like pulls out a random demon and that could be really good. Bloodthirster gives you an extra combat phase. I'd put this in my Aurelia deck as well. Apparently this card is really expensive out of here. It's like 15 bucks. So, I mean, it's really good. Plus it's a demon. Dark Apostle looks like it's kind of like that other card, just non-creature spells. get Cascade. Keeper of Secrets, would go really good in something that's definitely casting stuff out of the graveyard and whatnot. Probably somewhere in here. Haven't really seen that card yet. Karn the Betrayer. I feel like this would be a really interesting card to build a solid EDH deck around, just this card in general. Just because it has so many abilities. It attacks or blocks each combat. When you lose control of it, draw 2 cards, and if damage would be dealt to it, prevent that damage, and an opponent of your choice gains control of it. So I think it'd be really chaotic to throw this into something, or just build around it, to be honest. Night Rampager looks like it's one of the night cards. Trample at the beginning of combat on your turn. Choose an opponent at random. Attacks that player. When it dies, it deals 4 damage to target opponent chosen at random. Could be fun. I mean, it's okay. Let the Galaxy Burn. Looks like it's a Cascade red damage spell to creatures anyway. Definitely more in there for the Cascade flavor. I'd keep it in the Cascade deck. I can think of cards to do this better though.
Blood for the Blood God.
This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature that has died this turn. Discard your hand, then draw 8 cards. Blood for the Blood God deals 8 damage to each opponent. Exile it. This is a really good card. If you cast this as the last card in your hand, it's really good. You normally can, depending on what you have in your hand, make 8 creatures die. So this is a really good card. Chaos Defiler, when it enters the battlefield or dies, for each opponent choose a non-land permanent that player controls, destroy 1 of the chosen at random. Good card. I would throw this in my Chaos deck that I have, honestly. If I were to take it out, because it is a demon, but if I were to take it out of the demon deck, I would definitely throw it in there. Chaos Mutation, another card I put in a Chaos deck that I have. Like I said, if you want to see more decks of mine, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and let me know that you want to see more stuff like that. I can show you where I'd throw some of these other cards. Exile any number of target creatures controlled by different players. For each creature exiled this way, its controller reveals from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. Put that card on the battlefield, then put the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order. So it's just a chaos, random, bring out creatures thing. Drachnian, looks like a legendary equipment. That's pretty cool. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target creature. Equipped a creature has menace and gets plus X, where X is the exiled card's power, equipped 2. So you can exile any creature, so it's a removal and an equipment, so that's really good. And the equipment cost only being 2 is not that bad. Exalted Flamer of Tesnich. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an instance of sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast an instance sorcery spell, Exalted deals 1 damage to each opponent. Pretty good. Definitely good with the blue-red flavor here. Could throw that in any blue-red deck, honestly. It would be good. Hellbrute looks like this is one of the cards that looks like it can be cast from someplace other than your hand. So that's how you can get some of those other cards out. I don't know if I would completely rely on just this card to cast those other cards, though. The Horus Heresy. Big event in Warhammer lore. Pretty cool to have a card for it. So it's a Saga enchantment. For each opponent, gain control of up to 1 target non-legendary creature that player controls for as long as this remains on the battlefield. That's cool. Draw a card for each creature you control but don't own. That's cool too. Starting with you, each player chooses a creature. Destroy each creature chosen this way. That's pretty cool. Especially if you just control everyone else's creatures and none of your own. You just make everyone choose their creatures. Keelbane Burn. Looks like it's just a multi-choice removal spell or damage to target player. Pretty good. Pretty high mana cost, but I mean, destroy target artifact creature or 3 damage is pretty good. Lucius the Eternal Haste. When it dies, exile it and choose target creature an opponent controls. When that creature leaves the battlefield, return it from exile to the battlefield under its owner's control. That's not bad. I mean, it puts itself back on the field almost every time, so as long as they don't exile it, it comes back for the most part, because you can remove other cards, so that's pretty cool. Magnus the Red, this falls in real heavy with the blue-red flavor. Instance and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less for each creature token you control, and whenever it deals damage to a player, create a 3/3 red spawn. This is a demon, so I would keep this in the demon deck for sure. Eudolith Vortex Beast, trample 6/6 for 6. When it enters the battlefield, flip a coin for each opponent you have. For each one you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, deal 3. I would put this in my Chaos deck, but it has blue, and that's just a blue-black deck. That would be really fun in this. This could be a fun card in general. Pink Horror looks like it's a 4/4 for 5. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, pink horror deals 2 damage to any target. That's pretty good. And when it dies, create 2/2 blue and red demon horror creature tokens named Blue Horror with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, that creature deals 1 damage to any target. That's not bad. So it just does the same thing, but it multiplies itself. The Ruinous Power. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose an opponent at random, exile the top card of that player's library until the end of the turn. You may play that card and spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. Whenever you cast a spell this way, its owner loses life to the mana value. That's pretty good. I would play this in any blue or any black-red deck, to be honest. Tazingor Shaman, flying 3/3 for 4. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, copy the next instance or sorcery spell you cast this turn when you cast it, and you may choose new copies. Pretty good for the blue-red flavor. Past in Flames, pretty known card for Magic players, just with some Warhammer art. Flashback, so here's another way to cast stuff from your graveyard. This is a pretty reliable way to do it because it gives multiple things. So yeah, this is a pretty good way to use those cards with the graveyard stuff. Looks like these cards are ones that are already Magic cards with just some Warhammer art. Destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature destroyed, or you can cycle it. And when you cycle it, all creatures get -2/-2, so multi-use card. Sick. Blasphemous Act with Warhammer art. Board wipe, 13 damage to each creature, costs 1 less for each creature on the battlefield. Really good red removal spell. Couldn't see this not having Chaos Warp in it. You shuffle a permanent any player into their library, reveal the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it on the battlefield. Reverberate, just an instant that copies an instance or sorcery. Warstorm Surge, when a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage to its power to any target. Really good card to just remove stuff with creatures. Chromatic Lantern, classic card for EDH for any 2-3 color deck. This I think is the only one that comes with Chromatic Lantern, so this is really cool. This is a cool art. I would like this in foil. Exotic Orchard, add 1 mana of a color that your opponent's lands could produce. Just a classic EDH card. Foreboding Ruins, when it enters the battlefield, you reveal a mountain or swamp, and if you don't, it enters tapped. These are pretty common in EDH as well. They're really easy to make not enter tapped. Sunken Hollow, enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So another really common EDH effect for dual lands. Forgotten Caves, just a cycling land, or it's a tap land, but most of the time it's used for cycling. Path of Ancestry, it enters tapped, and you add 1 mana of your commander's color identity, and whenever a creature spell that's cast shares type with your commander, you scry 1s. This would be really good in the demon deck. Swiftwater Cliffs, another one of those tap, gain the life lands. Cool art on a Terramorphic Expanse, just a fetch land. Looks like the rest of these are swamps and islands and mountains, but I'll show you what they look like. They're all the same. There's a mountain, swamp, island. It looks like you get this bigger, kind of thicker Abaddon. I don't even know if that would fit in a perfect sleeve. Maybe barely. The thickums. I guess that's better than the giant ass card they used to give you that no one would use. You could throw it at someone. You don't even really need the card sleeve for this, but it's a cool little thing to have. Then it looks like there's some tokens, Plague Bearers, spawns. Other sides probably have, Blue Horrors, Astros, Warriors, more spawns. So yeah, let's see if we can get it into that box. So it looks like it'd fit in there if it was just single sleeve. You could probably fit the tokens in there too. Let me know if you like Magic content. If you want to see more Magic stuff, I can do deck profiles on my EDH decks, on my other competitive Magic decks. I could do some Magic Online stuff. Leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell if you're not already. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Later.